As the nights get colder, many worry about the cost of heating their homes. The winter fuel payment from the DWP is here to help. It's a one-off tax-free payment for older people to help with heating bills during winter. This isn't a loan, it's money to help you stay warm. Who gets it? If you were born on or before the 22nd of September 1959, you may qualify. You also need to have lived in the UK for at least one day during the qualifying week, 16 the 22nd of September 2025. Most people get the payment automatically if they receive the state pension or certain benefits. The DWP pays it straight into your bank account. You may not qualify if you've been in hospital for over a year, in prison, or live in a care home and get certain benefits. If you're unsure, check your situation. This payment could make a real difference this winter. Now for the important bit. How much money are we actually talking about? The amount you receive from the winter fuel payment can vary depending on your age and your living situation during the qualifying week. For the winter of 2025 to 2026, the standard payment is a helpful £200 for each qualifying household. However, there's an extra boost for the oldest in our society. If your household includes someone who is aged 80 or over, the payment increases to £300. This is a recognition that older individuals may feel the cold more and have a greater need for heating. So this extra amount is designed to provide additional peace of mind. It's also important to understand how the payment works if you live with other people. If you qualify and live alone, you will receive the full amount for your age bracket. If you live with another person who also qualifies for the payment, you will usually share the payment. For example, in a household where two qualifying people under 80 live, you would likely each receive £100, making up the £200 total for the household. If one of you is over 80, the household still gets £300, but it might be split differently depending on individual circumstances. The key thing is that the payment is generally per household, not per person. So, when does all this happen? The DWP has announced that applications for those who need to make a claim will open in September 2025. For those who get the payment automatically, you don't need to worry about this deadline. You should receive a letter in October or November telling you how much you'll get and an estimated payment date. The payments themselves are then typically made throughout November and December. The DWP has a target of making all payments by a specific date in January, so if you haven't received your money by then, that's the time to get in touch with them to find out what's going on. The most important thing to remember is the qualifying week, the 16th to the 22nd of September 2025. Your circumstances during this specific week are what the DWP will use to assess your eligibility and payment amount. This includes where you live and who you live with. If you are approaching the qualifying age, make sure you know your date of birth and check if it falls on or before the 22nd of September 1959. Being prepared and knowing these key dates means you can act quickly if you need to, ensuring you don't miss out on this crucial financial help ahead of the cold weather setting in. While most people will get their winter fuel payment automatically, there are specific situations where you will need to actively make a claim. This is especially important, as failing to claim means you will miss out on the money completely. You will need to claim the payment if you have not received it before and you don't receive benefits or a state pension. This can often apply to people who are of qualifying age but are still working and therefore not drawing a pension yet. You will also need to claim if you receive housing benefit, council tax reduction, or universal credit, as these are not qualifying benefits for automatic payment. If you fall into one of these groups, don't panic. Making a claim is a relatively straightforward process, but you need to be ready to do it. The DWP will open the claim lines and make claim forms available from September 2025. The easiest way for most people to claim is by phone. You will need to have some key information ready before you call, including your national insurance number, your bank or building society details, and the date you were married or entered into a civil partnership, if applicable. Having this all to hand will make the call much quicker and smoother. For those who prefer not to use the phone or who need to send information by post, you can also claim by filling out a form. These forms will be available to download from the gov.uk website once the claim window opens in September. You can also request a form to be sent to you by post by calling the Winter Fuel Payment Centre. When you fill out the form, make sure you complete all the sections accurately. Any missing information could delay your application and therefore your payment, so it's worth taking a few extra minutes to double-check everything before you send it off. The deadline for making a claim for the winter of 2025 to 2026 will be in March 2026. While that might seem like a long way off, my advice is always to act early. Don't leave it until the last minute. The sooner you get your claim in, the sooner it will be processed, and the sooner you will have the money in your account to help with those big winter bills. It's always better to be proactive and get it sorted in the autumn, so you can relax knowing the help is on its way before the really cold weather arrives. The winter fuel payment is a fantastic help, but it's not the only support out there for households struggling with high energy costs. It's really important to think of it as just one part of your overall winter financial plan. If you're on a low income, you should urgently check if you're eligible for pension credit. This is a crucial benefit that tops up your weekly income, and it's a gateway to a whole host of other support, including cold weather payments. These are separate £25 payments made for each 7-day period of very cold weather between November and March. You don't want to miss out on this. Beyond direct payments, there are practical steps you can take to make your home more energy efficient, which can save you a surprising amount of money. Simple things like draft-proofing your doors and windows can make a huge difference. You can buy cheap, effective draft excluders or use sealant to fill gaps. Drawing your curtains at dusk is another easy win, as it acts as an extra layer of insulation. Also, make sure your radiators aren't blocked by furniture, as this stops the warm air from circulating properly around the room. Every little bit of heat you can trap inside your home is money saved on your bills. Another avenue to explore is grant funding for home improvements. Schemes like the Great British Insulation Scheme or ECO4 can offer free or heavily subsidised insulation for your loft or cavity walls. A well-insulated home stays warmer for longer, meaning your boiler doesn't have to work as hard, which cuts your energy consumption significantly. Eligibility for these schemes is often based on your income, the benefits you receive, or the energy efficiency rating of your property. It costs nothing to check if you can get this help, and the long-term savings can be substantial. Finally, if you are feeling overwhelmed or unsure about what to do, please remember that help is available. For official information and to make a claim, the first port of call should always be the gov.uk website. It has dedicated pages for the winter fuel payment with all the latest details. For independent advice on managing your bills and checking all your benefit entitlements, organisations like Citizens Advice and Age UK have trained advisors who can provide free, impartial guidance. Don't struggle in silence. A quick phone call or visit to a website could unlock the support you need to stay warm and safe this winter.